no, 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 no. Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. And I got mindless contentment. I feel a lot better than I did yesterday. Was still catching up on sleep, but I'm here. I got the end of some other tune there that I have no idea what the hell it is. What's going on, folks? B is here and Mac is here. I'm here. Couple folks watching quietly. I hope you will all vote. Tonight's poll is, will Trump strike Iranian military bases? I'm trying to sharpen up the poll questions. I know I've had some positive criticism about them being a little bit too not the clearest questions, I guess, sometimes, but I think that one's pretty clear. Sorry, my cone is rolling away. I can't have that. I might need that later. So as always, a lot of shit going down. I never claimed to break any news ever. I just try to I just like to hash it over, you know? Bounce my thoughts about the current events off you folks' thoughts about the current events. But I guess I was behind today. Maybe you guys can even enlighten me because I've been busy again. Went and seen the grandkids. But supposedly Iran has, I don't know about declared war on the U.S., but supposedly their supreme leader has made the statement that they are at war with the U.S. So, but I think Bill mentioned, and I didn't know it'd be, I was not expecting this thing to escalate that quickly, though Trump is a fucking loose cannon, so, you know, never know when he's gonna, excuse me, fucking go off. I mean, he's pulling everything out, right, to distract from the Epstein cover-up, so. Steph, welcome to the stream. What's up with you? Yeah, exactly my point. B says it's a Tony cost. Who knows what the hell he'll do in the next 30 minutes. But for sure, he is a warmonger. I mean, it's just pretty much, it's, and I didn't even think that of Trump. Seriously. I mean, my thoughts were going into this, his second term here, that he just wanted to isolate the U.S., right? And then possibly be able to have a heavier hand on oppressing American citizens. So, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Like, you know, he's a coward. And still believe he's a coward. I mean, he's not the one out there fucking putting his life on the line. So I am a little bit surprised, just a little bit, that he is. But I suppose if you took the Epstein cover up files and cover up out of the equation, that there may not be, that he may not be as jumpy as he is. I mean, he's fucking, you guys know, he's looking to do and pull out every possible stop or move he can. Um, I don't even know why. I mean, he's, no matter what happens, he'll be able to live his fucking elite lifestyle, having gotten away with rape and probably trafficking kids and, a staged failed coup, the whole fucking ball of wax, right? So yeah, who knows what, but I don't think, I've never thought that Trump would just be going to town on, not that I ever trusted anything he said about, with as far as his campaign promises go and all that good shit. But so I want to get into the thing with Iran a little bit more for sure. But the last minute, I seen those ding dongs over in the White House chat talking about the beef prices and why it's fucked up. And they're saying that one of those morons said something about the reason why beef prices are so high in the U.S. is because American beef farmers need more breeding cattle. That's why we're buying them from Argentina. My brain just hurts sometimes when I read that kind of shit. But tonight I just laughed my ass off because this is something I don't pretend to follow all these little things, right down to the detail. But because I'm such a fucking documentary lover, I've been seeing a lot of this shit and reading it, listening to these farmers, watching, and I really, really want to just run this. It's on the stream tonight, but I'm so afraid I don't want to get in trouble. I'd like to contact these people to see about using some of their content when it pertains to whatever we might be talking about here on streams. But there is a link for More Perfect Union. I don't know if you guys are sub to that channel or not. They're fucking good. It's like one of the best, you guys. Like, I love, like, Andrew Callahan with Channel 5. He kind of does pretty much different stories, but More Perfect Union is really, really good. And I didn't have time to search out the PBS stories, but there's been several of those on American beef farms, family-owned farms, the process of it, who's making the money. But on that More Perfect Union, I think the link I just pinned, it's about a 15-minute watch, so it's pretty short, but it's very eye-opening. I mean, when you have farmers going out of business, they're not just crying because they're not getting rich. They're literally have gone out of business. And so you have beef farmers making zero profit while consumers are paying the highest prices ever. Something's wrong. Something's fucky. Yeah, am I right? I think so. So please check that out. I do have, just real quick, some beef stats, and I'll just read through these hopefully and try not to get sidetracked around my mouth. But here are some stats. So the total cattle and calves on the U.S. farms as of July 2025 and 94.2 million head. This includes all cattle, beef and dairy. I tried to just get beef cattle. I tried, but ChatGPT would not fucking separate them for whatever reason, even though I asked the question a few different ways, and also, with the years. Here's what the data shows for the number of cattle in the United States. Oh, maybe I fucked that up. Well, I do still have it up. But anyways, I guess that's all the stat I kept for 2025. 94.2 million head in 2025. And here's what the data shows for the number of cattle in the United States about 20 years ago, around 2005, which gives a good historical comparison to today's herd size. Total cattle and calves, all classes, January 1st, 2005, there were about 95.8 million head of cattle and calves in the United States. So almost the exact same amount as there was 20 years ago. And though in early 2005, the number of beef cows breeding females was around 33.1 million head. And the number of breeding females in 2025 are 28.7 million ahead, or 28.7 million head. So the numbers slightly lower for the breeding females. Overall, the herd sizes are about the same, which, if you watch that Perfect Union clip video, one of the beef farmers in there explains the percentage of, our population growth or consumption, U.S. consumption, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I can't remember how far back he went, comparative to today, and it's down today. And that's where I got that statement that the beef farmers are making less and less profit, while the consumers are paying more and more. The prices are skyrocketing, so that money is going somewhere, right? It's going somewhere, because it's not going to the farmers. They're not, I'm not always. I mean, I live in farm country. I never, we all love and appreciate our farmers. I'm pretty shitty about farmers voting Republican and then needing fucking sub bailouts. I mean, we should be supporting farmers, but if it's gonna be, and you guys know me, I'm not opposed to fucking social programs when it comes to benefiting our whole society with things like what we need, like food, water, right? So if they're being subsidized, then they're not profiting. Clearly, they can't be happy about that. These folks, no matter what the situation is, work their asses off their whole damn life, like most of us just wouldn't understand, even me. And many of you, I mean, any of us who are Gen Xers or older, and I'm not saying that the younger generations don't, but there's less and less people growing up, understanding what it did take to fucking feed a family. So it's crazy. I wanted to share that. I wanted to start off with that because Steve and Kez were over there fucking giving each other blowjobs about thinking they understand the cattle business and why beef prices are so high and thinking, I mean, just the fucking absolute insane, thought process of assuming that we, coming to the conclusion, or their conclusion, thinking that we need fucking breeding cows from Argentina, that's the issue. They can't, you can give these, you can give basically these farmers are saying you could do whatever you want in that sense. They could have the problem isn't they can't keep more cows or cattle, or they would. They can't afford to. The farms keep getting smaller and smaller until they just go out of business, right? They have to you watch the videos, and not just that one. There's tons and plenty out there just recently, and you're going to see from big farms, cattle farmers to small cattle farmers. They're all basically finally getting on the same page. Again, the only thing I've ever been shitty about with is huge, massive, family owned, whatever, but when they're owning fucking tens of thousands of head of cattle and having, not being able to profit, or say they're not profiting, or it's just, it's too, there's, the years they profit are, a couple years out of every 10. And so they hope to, have really good prices at that time. And so when you have politicians deciding the prices on this stuff instead of the farmers deciding what they can sell it for or need to sell it for, and then consumers ultimately deciding how the market goes because we know what we can afford to pay. Well, Bill, I've tried, brother, to really learn so I could get it straight. Supposedly, if you break it up enough, basically you can't just use someone's content in full, right? You have to alter it in some way. It has to be, and is what it comes down to is the terms of service rules are extremely fucking gray. It doesn't give like a percentage. Like if my stream is an hour long, how much of that my 60-minute stream can I use have other content in, right? Or if I was to use someone's whole video like that. But I've been slowly getting at it and learning, because I'm not a professional. You guys know that. So when I write these channels and like even the news agencies, well, last year I called the court there during one of those Zoom trials. I'm trying to learn and get it straight, but I know I probably sound like a complete goofball to some of these folks, because I don't know how it all works. Bill says, I think Americans eat less beef. Not sure if that accounts for whole population growth. Would have to look at imports there. Yeah, there's obviously, brother, there's all kinds of variables, but ultimately, not having the herd growth that we've not maintaining the herd to population or consumer ratio the way it has been, like, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, right? And that's where really it all started to fall apart. I believe this one farmer who was a large farm and still in business, but you'll see a couple of those guys had to sell their farms. One of them, the smallest guy, the price was determined last August, and or what he was gonna, how many he was gonna unload or something like that, and then the Friday before he went to auction was on a Monday, but that Friday Congress did some deal, and it fucking made beef prices drop. And instead of coming home with like what he was hoping a safe average would have been like 100 grand from that auction, he came home with like $30,000. And so that was it. That was it. He had to close up shop, so he started his own barbecue business. And now because beef is so fucking high, he's struggling with that. So, this they talk and go into there's a lot of other aspects of that documentary. It's again, it's pretty short, but the suicide rate, I mean, it was hard for me to sit there and watch this guy. He was just obviously a hard worker. Worked his butt, you don't work on a farm period and just slough off ever. I mean, or you're only going to be a farmer for a week or two. You know what I mean? You can't ever just say fuck it and call into work or what, I mean, there's really what can you do to if you're fucking raising your cattle and getting them to the market, you've done your job. There's not really much more you can do. If they're good quality beef, which we always, of course, there always is in America. But some of these huge factory farms, they have fucking, and I know some of you probably know this, they have, I forget what the official name is, but they have companies that literally just fatten the beef for the people who own the herds, right? That's their whole job, just to put together, fuck it, just to fatten them up for however long. And that was something that new that I had learned just recently. I did not know that they would literally ship their fucking cattle off somewhere else to be fattened to the most, just, I guess, because maybe there's too many other things going on a farm that you have to deal with as well as raising your cattle, right? To be able to put together the best dietary plan for your cows. I don't know. So I thought that was odd. Like, you have people raising cattle to sell for beef, right? And you would think they just raise it and then it goes to the auction, and these companies with the slaughterhouses and all that buy them up, package it, process it, package it. But there's actually a third, in not all cases, but probably in most of more than 50% of our meat, I would have to assume, because we fucking consume a lot. I had prime rib when we were in Maryland. Me and, well, not me and the kid, but he was all picking my brain about how the best to do it, because I cooked so many of those things when I was a youngster in the kitchens. And it was good. It's been a while since I had any prime rib. It was delish. I tell you what, B, we are going to eat just about as much venison this year, I'll bet you. Or at least in the first half of it. I mean, we literally, I don't know what is the 3 cubic foot chest freezer we have, and it's nothing but venison. I don't know. I couldn't even begin to guess how much, maybe 60 or 70 pounds in there. So we'll be eating, I'll bet you venison will be um, a majority of our meat consumption, at least through spring. But yeah, it's expensive, sister. Uh, it's crazy that, like, being able to just go get a halfway decent quality, some 80/20 ground beef, used to be just would be half the price of a package of fucking boneless, skinless chicken breasts or something, right? And that's just, it's not the case anymore. Like, it's pretty crazy that you can get, you know, boneless, skinless chicken breasts, obviously, because it's being having to be processed and shit, for about as cheap as anything. I mean, the pork tenderloins used to be were always pretty cheap. I don't know where that's at anymore. We haven't bought one of those in a minute. Bill says, bottom line, without sounding too conspiratorial, is U.S. is losing control of the oligarchs of food sources, energy production, media. It won't end well. U.S. is losing control to the oligarchs of food sources, energy. Yeah, I don't think that's not conspiratorial at all, Bill. It's just takes, and it's not like the simplest thing to just go, you can't just do a 2-minute Google search, as you know, on that shit. But if people take a little bit of time, they can go back and understand pretty easily how the markets on these things work and why, and we know why that there's been price control and stuff like this in the past, right? But to Bill's point, it switched from to protect consumers and producers to profiting, because it's just fucking investment firms that are fucking, what is it? There's like fucking 3 companies that process like 98% of all meat that we consume in this country. Like fucking turkey, chicken, pork, beef. 3 or 4 companies. I should know more than just one of them, but Cargill, Tyson, and then there's 2 others. I still get burger and white chili, huh? I do. My white chili is a chicken chili. Do you use Great Northern beans in that white chili? So you probably make it like I make my white chili, except for you still use ground beef. Like I use chicken stock, and then I thicken it super thick, because then I loosen it back up with some whole milk. And then, yeah, just chili powder. Everything else is the same. No, like no red beans or black beans. I use all Great White Northern beans. But hamburger, huh? And white chili. I don't know if I'm ready to try that. Maybe I will. Bill says we already lost interstate travel to the billionaires. Jay, welcome to the stream, brother. Jay says feed to protein ratio is best for chicken. It's worse for cows. Yeah. Well, that was part of it, Jay. Like that fucking idiot Steve Coe was like, or Kez started out by saying that the libs want people to fucking stop eating meat. For one, that's completely fucking false. Nobody said we shouldn't eat meat. I'm not going to give up meat. Nobody's going to tell. I'm not the huge, like if I could live without meat, which I probably could find a way, but if I could live happily without meat, like without fucking starving, because it's just my eating habits, it'd be difficult to get all the protein I need. One of my high school teachers was a vegetarian, and so the only protein she ate were eggs, and she was too thin. But I know that's just one case. But still, so Steve's like, yeah, Kaz, that's unsustainable with 8 billion people on the planet. And it's like, oh, do you fucking idiots realize that we can get 10 times more fucking food from the land we use on cattle if we were growing produce as opposed to beef? Like the water, we have to grow grain to feed these motherfuckers. And I'm not, again, nobody's fucking, calling for a beef ban, obviously, but it's like the stupidity. It's like nobody's saying you have to eat bugs. We could feed everybody much cheaper if we ate less meat. Period. It's just the fucking simple facts, because then we could put that fucking land and energy into growing, a huge, much more abundance of food, you know, produce, obviously, but it is what it is. I never met a vegetable I didn't love except for okra. B says Kimball Musk has a company that builds gardens and semi trailers that supplies fresh veggies to restaurants and schools. It's something. See, I'm all about us, as you guys know, I'm all about us trying any sort of new ways of growing stuff, but and doing things. But just like as much as I'm still all about renewable energy and electric vehicles, there's a fucking learning curve that we have to be ahead of, right? Like with um not totally destroying the planet until before we get to the point of, sustainability, like with lithium. And so I don't. I'll check. I'll check. I'll look for that. B. Kimball Musk semi trailer gardens. Because whenever I see that stuff, sister, and I'm not being negative, you know me. I'm always the devil's advocate. I always ask what is it taking to do those farms. Maybe are you, B, is it like something because they're in the cities and there's just no there's like it's harder to, like, farms are farther away, is it that sort of thing? Like I've seen restaurants, all kinds of big city restaurants with rooftop gardens. I don't know how much it really, what percentage of their needs it supplies. Yeah, white chili. I just told you kind of how to make it for the most part. Just make some chicken stock, or get some chicken stock going in your pot. Super strong, right? Make your chicken stock really strong because you're going to be thinning it back out. And plus you got to add your chicken and all that good shit in there. Yeah, some canned green chilies, which have no heat. You could do pimentos if you like the color. Great Northern beans, chili powder. Bill says Tyson just shut down a huge plant. Kentucky is thinking 3,500 jobs gone. Doesn't sound like a lot, but town will be devastated. Yeah, exactly. I like a cauliflower steak once in a while. Something you never hear me say 15 years ago. I don't know if I've heard of that or not, Bill, but cauliflower definitely grills nice like that, right? Like I can see that. It has it has that, it maintains that, it holds together once it's cooked. Laura, what up, sister? Steph said 678 per pound on sale. Yeah. I'm a northerner, Bill. Me and Miss, we I think I told you guys I was trying to do some traditional chili few weeks ago or something, and that's kind of the bummer about being out here is it's not always easy to find have a big um, variety and options at the grocery store for different stuff. Like I can't even remember now what what the main ingredient is in the Texas chili. Like they say it's no tomatoes. It's not tomato sauce, but it's exactly a tomato sauce. They're just like fucking cooked down and smoked or some shit. Yeah, I love beans, man. CB knows. Yep, we always do kidneys, black beans, and chili beans. That's probably a pound of like venison or beef, ground beef, and I do uh at least 1 can of each of those. All right, let me clear out Chat GTP. I like this. And see what it can tell me about the Iran situation. Bill, and I thank you too for your comment last night because I used that today in the Chud chat. How Trump said he set Iran's nuclear program back decades. And here he is 6 months later wanting to fuck him up again. Mighty came in and said, yeah, TV, he also eliminated ISIS like 12 fucking times. Hey, man, you gotta love Trump that he never fucking quits, right? You eliminate something completely, remove it from the face of the earth, and if it comes back, it's yours. See, I still, and I can't see you guys right now, but I didn't see the story. I only heard it from fucking dumbass Tide and Sherry. And yeah, of course I can't. But Sherry posted some comment and quotes from one of the supreme leaders or whatever. And so it almost felt legit, but it didn't say that they had declared. So here's the current situation as of late December 2025 regarding whether Iran has declared whether Iran has declared war on the United States. So that's kind of a question mark, though it didn't say or not. Has Iran formally declared war on the United States? No. There has been no official legal declaration of war by Iran against the United States. I'm shocked, you guys. I'm completely shocked and a little disappointed in myself that I even began to entertain what fucking Tide and Sherry had said. I'm just, but I wasn't all worked up about it. I did not, I mean, what are they going to fucking do? Iran is not like gonna declare war and then start putting together a fucking war plan for an offensive moves against the United States. How fucking silly is that, right? Jesus. While Iranian leaders have used very strong language saying Iran is in a full-fledged or total war with the US, Israel, and Europe, these are rhetorical and political statements, not formal declarations of war under international law. And to Chat GTP's point there, that was my thoughts too, that Iranian leaders' words there were, who do you guys, I can't see chat, but I'll ask anyway, who do you guys think those words were for? Were they for America, the West, Europe, Israel, or were they more likely for the people of Iran? That would be my guess, right? That is my guess. That that's what those words are for. Because they are having civil unrest, and there's so many layers to this, right? So there have been a lot of protests. I don't really know to what extent they can protest there in Iran without being fucking flogged, but more power to them. Um, I was just trying to bring this up for you guys to, and maybe if I'm able to keep that, you guys will be able to see what I'm reading to you. So I'm not, I'm not just fucking making shit up. So Sherry, if you're watching, no, there has been no official legal declaration of war by Iran against the United States. I mean, didn't Trump say we were at war? How many times did Trump say we were at war? The enemy within. People say things. So there has been an escalation and conflict, including military action, earlier in this year. June 2025, Israel and Iran engaged in a brief but intense conflict, 12-day war. The U.S. carried out airstrikes on Iranian. It wasn't really a 12-day war. I mean, there. I don't think shit was being slung back and forth for a full 12 days. Pretty sure I would have remembered that. My best recollection was that Iran sent what, couple 300-400 drones and missiles over like one night or something like that. Maybe some individual shots were fired here and there, but after that, but it wasn't 12 days of them fucking slinging heavy shit at each other. So the U.S. and plus these aren't, this is the Trump administration, the Netanyahu administration making these statements. The U.S. carried out airstrikes on Iranian nuclear sites during that conflict. Iran responded with missiles and drones attacks, including targeting U.S. forces in the region. This was significant escalation of hostilities, but it did not lead to a formal, ongoing declared war between the governments. Why are Iranian leaders talking about war? Well, probably because my best guess is they made that statement after Trump and Bibi's fucking bonkers fascist fucking press conference yesterday, right? Which I still haven't watched and I probably won't get around to it. Iran's president and officials have described the current geopolitical confrontation as an all-out war or total war involving the United States, Israel, and Europe. This framing reflects deep tensions from sanctions, security pressures, and previous strikes, political and domestic messaging, and strategic signaling to both domestic and international audiences. But there are descriptive political statements, not an actual legal declaration of war. Is the U.S. at war with Iran right now? Not in a legal declared sense. The U.S. has engaged in military operations. For another reason we're not at war with Iran is because for us, whatever, Iran can say whatever the fuck they want, but and it has some meaning. Their words do carry some weight in whatever way. But for us to say we're at war with Iran is up to Congress. Trump can't say we're at war with, well, he can say it, but it's just fucking bullshit rhetoric, just like what the leaders of Iran are doing. The U.S. has engaged in military operations and supported allies like Israel with force. And yes, is Israel really an ally? I don't know. With force, and there has been serious confrontations, but the U.S. government has not declared war on Iran, nor has Congress authorized such a declaration. No formal declaration of war between Iran and the U.S. exists. Leaders on both sides have used very strong war-related rhetoric. There have been military clashes and escalations in 2025, including U.S. strikes on Iranian responses, and these do not equate to formal war in the legal sense. So there we go. That said, it's all Trump needs to do more strikes on Iran. So my poll question, will Trump strike Iranian military bases? Should I know this? Maybe. I don't think it's relevant necessarily. But my guess is that Iran didn't consider the nuclear facility that we hit in June, probably wasn't designated as a military site. I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming that it wasn't. So there will be strikes on Iran, sadly. I mean, no, there's no love loss, right, for the leaders, but Iranian people, Persian people are they're humans. Nobody wants to be oppressed. They're trying to push back now, or have been. Shit takes time, I guess. Right? Who are we to judge how fast or, fucking people die when there's revolutions. So, the people of Iran probably would like to keep the bloodshed to a minimum because it's already been painful for them, right? Just fucking living under the fucking, what they have to live under. So there will be more strikes from Trump, and my guess is that it won't. I mean, it's not just going to be hitting that same nuclear facility. There are some other ones that we didn't hit in June. I don't know if they'll be targeting those. That would be like if they're really being true to their word, and there have been some statements by European leaders about Iran's continued quest for nuclear weapons. That would be, at least what would seem like the most diplomatic approach with force, if you can use force diplomatically, that they would just still only target the nuke. If that's what their claim is, that the concerns for a continued quest for nuclear weapons, then you would think they would only target those nuclear research and development facilities. But you guys, and I could be wrong, but you guys are hearing it here, that I think that there will be strikes on Iranian military installations inside the country. Also, I ran my mouth last night about Venezuela. I think it was a really good conversation too with you guys last night, honestly, about this, because there is a lot of or at least a couple different really possible options or reasons for what Trump's doing here, and goals. Like, we know the oil, supposedly, the Trumpers believe that it's to stop drugs coming into America from Venezuela, which, ta-da, there's no drugs coming in from Venezuela, and it had nothing to do with 30 strikes and 107 murders, vigilante strikes, whatever, right? These folks didn't get due process. So we who don't have our head up our ass know that it's about the oil, and how Trump achieves that goal of getting his hands on the oil could come from, just all out, going in and seizing Venezuela, or helping to force a regime change, which would require a civil war. I mean, it would. I mean, I don't know what the exact definition of what the requirements to define something as a civil war are, right? Other than just two, any given country being completely divided on politics, but yeah. So I think that Trump is probably also taking advantage of the unrest in Iran right now, the social unrest in Iran. He sees that the leaders there are getting a lot of pushback from their citizens, and hey, stoke the fire, right? Stoke that fire. So 13 votes, 92% of you said yes, Trump will strike military bases this time. 8% said no. I'll keep that poll up. Annie, what's up? Cheers, brother. Salute. Gloria, cheers to you. Welcome to the stream, sister. Laura says, I think the president of Iran said something, but only the Ayatollah can declare something. Right, the supreme, yeah, the right, they have like an administrative leader and then the religious leader who makes all the real decisions. But they're almost like one and the same. Or I mean, as you know, Laura, so many of they're all the high ranking government officials are super religious too. Orthodox, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Bill says force or military action is always a failure of diplomacy. Now, right on. You know what? That's why I was struggling. You know what I was trying to get at there. Like, if the real issue is our concern with Iran continuing their quest for nuclear weapons, then you would think that we would only be targeting those research and development facilities. But I think the next round of strikes will reach beyond that. Bill says regime change is how he gets the oil. Mikado, who won the election, has already promised Chevron is right back in there if she's the leader. See, I don't think that's cool at all. I mean, I guess we would generally, most of us might have more in common with her political views, her policy views, but why would she do that, brother? Why would she do that? Is what needs to happen is that the revenue from their oil fields just needs to start going back into the country, and it would be the place would be absolute. There would be no stop in Venezuela, and I know you guys know this. I mean, it would be an amazing fucking place to live and visit. Like, can you imagine the stability of Norway's government in a place like Venezuela, right? The fucking brains that fucking a government, or not the governments, the people, but also their leaders, the wherewithal they have to fucking do to truly make those tough decisions. Well, I don't know why they're tough decisions to do what's best for the whole population of your nation, but can you imagine that kind of common sense, rational dedication to your own people that they have in Norway and putting it in Venezuela, where with that oil, right? I don't know, Bill. That's weird, man. Thanks for mentioning that, brother. It doesn't make sense to me. I hope someone can push back on me and say, well, TV, you're missing this part of it or this aspect. So to me, right off the bat, and I know she's a Nobel Peace Prize winner and all that, but that doesn't mean she isn't still like maybe a child of her environment, a product of her environment. and still not quite all the way there with democracy. Maybe she doesn't fucking understand business. I don't know, or how to govern. You know, people are really good at running businesses, but have no idea what it is about to govern a country and people. Which I'm not saying I do, but there's clearly a big difference. Like America can't be ran like a business. We have no way to generate revenue. Like our federal government has no way to generate revenue. You can't run it like a business. Yeah, Bill, what do you think on that, brother? Talk to me. Like that seems like that's sketchy to me that she is willing to invite Chevron right back in. That seems sketchy as fuck to me. I mean, Maduro's a fucking monster, but he's not selling out to rich American companies. Yes, which Bill, I'm assuming you'll. My thoughts are, Bill says American oil companies were there just a decade ago when Chavez was chased them out, nationalizing the oil reserves. But we talked about this a few weeks ago too, right? Didn't this whole process of nationalizing the oil reserves started under Carter? Am I right about that? Or that's when we started developing the oil wells for them, but the whole process was a 40-year plan now or something, that to have them returned back to Venezuela eventually. I don't know. I don't I don't know, man. Look, if everything's on the up and up and all parties are consensual, great. That I just can't believe that's the case. And two, American oil companies are fucking thieves. They're just fucking lying, greedy thieves. You know? I don't give a fuck if it makes my fucking gas 10 cents cheaper a gallon. I'm not kidding you. That shit should belong to the fucking people of these countries all over. That's the whole that's why they're fucking poor and oppressed. Because there's too many people who don't have their best interest in heart fucking running shit. How is fucking rich, fucking ignorant elite, completely fucking ignorant to the way life is for fucking 95% of the world? How are them running Venezuela's oil fields going to benefit them? Bill, I hope you know I'm not bitching at you. I'm fucking singing. Bill says back in 2010 or so, Chavez spent that money on the people. A popular dictator, Maduro, will retire in Saudi Arabia after robbing Venezuela. Right. Right on. Yeah, and I don't pretend to know how, Chavez was also obviously also up to, no good, but clearly he did do more, at least. Could more have been done for the people of Venezuela? Sure, but that's what I'd like to see Mercado do. Why isn't she should be fucking, you know, she should be petitioning the world leaders to help her in whatever ways we can legally without fucking up more people's lives in Venezuela. Not forcing her to make some sort of compromise that is not going to benefit her country. I don't get that. And if she is the legitimate president elect, I don't doubt that for a second. I mean, you can imagine the elections there being completely corrupt and messed up, but I don't get why she wouldn't. And then that would be for them to deal with, like, if she's just half as fucking corrupt as, you know what I mean? I don't know if it sounds bad or not, but just because she's a Nobel Peace Prize winner doesn't, for me, doesn't say that she wouldn't be a complete I mean, we have a lot of fucking smart people that have done good things that are fucking shitty. Bill says, not that sketchy. Any port in a storm, I guess. Mikado is a liberal in her words, right? Venezuela was producing way more oil under U.S. and British drilling. Not sure how that worked out for pre-Chavez. Right on, and I know, brother, there is going to be all kinds of different circumstances, and but yeah, ultimately, I guess I should say that she would be an improvement for sure. I just I just wonder about people, smart people. Obviously, she's far more educated and intelligent than I am. I'm just shocked that I mean, I don't fucking trust American big wigs Bill at all on much at all anymore. I just don't. Especially, I mean, what was it 3 years ago watching the fucking I don't know if it was the oversight committee when they had the CEOs of the top three or four American oil companies in for questioning in a hearing. They were the biggest cocksucker. That was the big. You can see I'm still pissed about watching. They were such smug cocksuckers. It was fucking ridiculous. I mean, the year that the fucking prices 2020 they fucking still profited like what I think I was throwing that stats at you guys a lot back then. $50 billion that year during the pandemic. That was still their profits. Like total all the American oil companies. All right, I got a cone. Jay says you can't invade a nation and steal flammable resources from a well armed people. Max says it's important to remember oil is only half the story. They also want mining rights for rare earth minerals, specifically coltan? Cobalt, you mean? I'm not sure I've ever heard coltan. Do you mean cobalt, Mac? Probably. I mean, you could maybe you didn't hit a typo there. I've never heard of coltan. I don't believe, but so yes, to Mac's point, also the rare earth minerals, and we've seen Trump's fucking you know, his transactional ways as far as rare earth minerals go with Ukraine. Bill says after Chavez kicked US out, Russia and China moved in. So yeah, it's an imperialist mess in Venezuela. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, I just ultimately you guys see where I'm coming from. I would like to see that. I think it just belongs to the people of Venezuela with some really fucking selfless, smart leaders would be pretty cool to see. Yeah, Max says coltan is used in high electronics. Venezuela has huge deposits of it. Cool, thanks, brother. That's why I like doing this shit. I'm hoping you guys are going to learn me because I ain't going to learn you shit. That's what I love about this crew, man. You guys don't just sit there and fucking take your fucking spoonfuls of fucking propagandist bullshit from some other fucking propagandist puppet who was fucking spoon fed the same bullshit from some other propagandist puppet who was spoon fed the same bullshit. I think I'm making my point. And then they just fucking lay it out in chat like it's some sort of fucking generic memo sent out to all of them or something. You guys all go in and get your fucking hands and heads dirty. Yeah, it's almost yeah, Bill. I don't know what I haven't. I mean, I haven't like went and searched out like, hey, why is there so much fuss about rare earth minerals? But you know what, brother? Maybe I will. I've just, from the documentaries that I love, nature documentaries and all that shit, and how, technology, obviously seen that they're a big thing. And, I think one of the biggest ones I watched or coolest ones was all the large deposits in the ocean, right, in certain spots. But it's almost like Bill, the way just now you saying that, it almost kind of does feel like the fucking diamond fucking hype, right? I don't know that that's true, but the thing is this is where I think like I would like to see the fucking bee's gonna kill me. Maybe she won't. But I'm honest. This I think fucking Musk is a fucking bonkers motherfucker and smart at the same time, and he should stay the fuck out of politics because he's very good at stuff like maybe figuring out how we could start mining asteroids or something, right? Like that then all that shit goes away. All this fucking need for these kinds of minerals go, there's there's no bloodshed. I mean, it's never going to end, you guys. It's never going to end. People fucking it was I'm still waiting like so we had four of us in the car this past week, right? And I don't have any of the mind foot. I have some videos and pictures that I'm going to share with you guys eventually. Not tonight yet, but because I don't want to be that guy who's like, "Look at my grandkids. look at my here's a picture of the mountain I took. Check it out, you guys. Here's a picture of the mountain at mile marker 101. Check it out, guys. Picture of the mountain at mile marker 102." But man, driving by some, like I said, on our way home, we skipped the toll road so we could see a little bit more of America, and it was fucking awesome. But there was some fucking sad spots, some really like holy fuck, you know what I mean? Unless you've seen it a few times, or you know, you're around it, you live in fucking coal country. It's undescribable when you can look across this valley and know, it's obvious that a whole motherfucking mountaintop was taken down. It's fucking crazy. And there's just this massive mountain of rubble left. It's not, so I don't think it's going to end. The earth is not finite or infinite, it is finite. But like yeah, maybe kind of like the whole fucking diamond trade thing. It's like I don't know. That's why I told my youngest, I'm like, diamonds are useless. She was like, are they diamond mines, Dad? No, no. I shouldn't have shared that. I do my best with her. She's the youngest. Give me a break. Said it's a coal mines. But my oldest, while she was in college, worked for the fucking big jeweler in Grand Rapids, and we had this discussion a few years ago. I'm like, fucking diamonds are hyped. I mean, we need them for stuff, and I can't be positive this, but I'm pretty sure now we could just build all the diamonds we need for whatever electronics, for wherever they're needed in electronics. It's weird. So I don't know. I don't know that that'll be the case. And rare earth minerals also is a big box, isn't it? Max says Colton, short for columbite tantalite. That's a cool band name. Columbite tantalite. as a metallic or primarily refined to extract tantalum and ni- niobium. What was? All right, god damn it. These conversations get too good. So I think it was one of the Drew Binsky, one of the big streamers, huge fucking travel streamers. He's a local Phoenix guy, but anyways, I'll get around to sharing it. Maybe at the end of this stream, I'll quick go grab the link. They were did a story. I don't know where it was at exactly. If it was in Pennsylvania, but anyways, they had their minds. You know, one of these stories we've heard and known about thousands of times. A town dying when the coal mining company leaves, but then they started extracting something else from there, and that tantalum that Mac mentioned. Right, sounds a little familiar. I can't be sure though. Anyways, Max says, which are essential for 2025 modern manufacturing due to their heat resistance and electrical properties. Right, I'd never heard of Colton again. Thanks, Mac. Very welcome. Sam, what's up? Cheers to you. Just got here. Heard rare earths. Are you talking about Nigeria, the country in Africa? That has the largest deposits of rare earth minerals in all of Africa. Get the fuck out of here. You're kidding me, right? Damn. See how good you guys are? Get the fuck out. Did any of you guys, have you guys heard that? Well, that makes sense, Sam. That happened to be, I think it was from Mac. I was in Maryland and I popped in late Christmas night, and Mac told me Trump had bombed or was striking ISIS installations supposedly in Nigeria. I never looked into it. Was on vacation. Obviously, you guys see how fucking busy the news cycle is. I'm not making excuses, just giving you reasons why I'm a fuck up. Wow. Thanks, Sam. That's a fucking that's noteworthy. We weren't talking about rare earth in Nigeria, but I mean it was kind of more Venezuela related, but that is interesting because well fuck. Yeah. Trump doesn't I guess now I would like to know if Putin wasn't already invading Ukraine, would Trump find some reason to fucking start dropping shit on Ukraine because they have a pretty good rare earth mineral deposits as well? Wow, good stuff. Bill says I read rare earth means rare deposits, small but not necessarily rare on the planet. Oh, is it? Which is why but we don't necessarily, maybe the bigger deposits are harder to mine, like in the ocean, which is why I warn about the imperialistic reasons for strategic ownership. Right. Oh, okay. I got you now. Yeah, I guess I'd have to look. What would I. Well, I guess then you could say go back to the oil, though, for Venezuela. I'm not sure why we would. How much more of a presence is necessary. Well, in South America, other than I guess if if you're looking at and seeing how big of a presence China has, for instance, there. Yeah, a lot of fucking issues. They make capacitors out of it is one thing, but all kinds of electronics, each space even space tech. Synthetic diamonds works. My hunch is we'll be synthesizing the rare earth elements we need soon. No war for resources anymore. There's plenty. Yeah, we just gotta. Well, like I was saying, Bill, we just gotta be enough ahead of that fucking learning curve with full sustainability before we fucking poison ourselves, right? Like with the lithium, right? Like I'm all about the electric vehicles, 100%. You know, because hopefully I can power it with the sun, which I can, or the wind, right? Water possibly. I'm sort of even more now. I'm like kind of against hydropower because if we don't need to fuck with our water systems at all, that's probably going to be a plus. Um, but yeah, getting to that point where I mean, we're going to have to find the technology has to get to where we can find a way to use far less lithium to run the same size batteries. Like a fucking literally a percent, a fraction 5% of what it amount of lithium it takes to run a normal electric car EV battery, get it down to 5% from whatever it takes now, or a whole different discovering a whole different chemical that will work. This is and this is, staying ahead of that learning curve. Um, or the repercussions of the learning curve, I guess, is this is where AI could help us, right? They could it's a race. Like it's a race between AI, the dark AI and the good AI, the white AI. Can the good one get us to an amazing spot where where we are able to about do away with world hunger, with water issues, um, right? Pollution before they kill us. Sam says the Dems just won a special election in Iowa 16th state Senate district. Sweet. Elon lost the contract. War war for other countries' resources. Free trade is so much better. Diamonds have to have heritage papers not right, which leads to a whole counterfeit market since the blood diamond exposure. Right? We've all know those stories of the African diamond mines, blood diamonds, but experts can't tell the difference between synthetic diamonds and natural now. She wore diamonds on the bottom of her shoes. All right, what do you guys think? I gotta have a break a second. Let me all right. I'm gonna do a BRB real quick and then I'll come back and yap with you guys for a few more. I need Bill to start fucking pumping out poll questions for me because he's good with them. But I ask, will Trump strike Iranian military bases? 14 folks polled, out of 14 folks polled, 93% said he will, 7% said no. We'll leave this poll up for the rest of the stream. And there's a link for More Better Union, a great channel. I have not affiliated with them all or at all. So I am always sharing with you guys what I really, the shit that I'm fucking spending my time watching, learning, reading. All right. Hang tight, and I'll see y'all in just a minute. All right, I'm back. Let me create a file real quick for poll questions. Any of you guys can throw them at me. What did I just do? Oh, I might still have that one open. All right. I can redo this fucking U.S. cattle thingy dingy. Bam. All right, there we go. I got one next poll question saved. Thank you, Bill. Billum. I don't know what I fucking. Whatever. All right. Let me find you guys. Here we are. Bill, that's a good. There's a lot to debate there, right? And it's a lot, and a lot of the questions. Well, one or two questions there. Bill says, "Will Trump be impeached if he loses Congress in the midterms?" So I didn't pay attention to how specific you were there exactly because, well, I guess if he loses the House of Representatives, to me, it's still questionable. Obviously, we have the ability to send it then to the Senate, but that's where the conviction and removal would ultimately lie, as you guys know. So, and I still believe mainly probably because of all the fucking craziness we have seen, and I still have faith in our country, and and in order for shit to be set right, that requires me having a belief that somehow things can change quick and we can get back on the right path, and that's going to require Republicans. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I guess I would think too, just getting to that point again where the House impeaches Trump and it gets sent, there's hearings that get sent, scheduled for the Senate. I mean, nothing is beyond these MAGA. You can see me struggling. Nothing is beyond the hardcore MAGA Republicans, and I don't know. Would there? I mean, would there people like the Lindsey, even if they didn't come out strongly again, if they just voted to have Trump removed? Would the Lindsey Grahams and the fucking Jim Jordans, would they just quietly fold then and throw in the towel on Trump? I don't know. Bill says Iowa has Senate race coming up. Dems of veteran para-Olympian. We'll see, but looks good on TV. I've seen that guy, Bill. Looks sharp. We have a chance in Maine, too. In North Carolina, we'll elect a Democrat to Senate to replace Tom Tillis. Turk is the name. Crowded primary, but that suits an underdog. Roy Cooper going to Senate from North Carolina. It's going to be busy, you guys, right? Like, this is it. We'll have, we got New Year's Eve coming up tomorrow night. Mrs. V will be fucking rocking and rolling hard right here at home like we usually do. My last few New Year's Eves have been really wacky. Me and Mrs. V were talking about it earlier that I think 2 years ago I forced myself to fucking. I had a drink because it was New Year's Eve, even though I didn't fucking just thought I was out of it or whatever, and had a good stiff drink. Then I'm like, still not working. Maybe I can still catch my second breath. Had another stiff drink and said, fuck it, it didn't work. I woke up and I had a cold or something, caught a cold, right? That's why I was so shot. But just all the cold symptoms hadn't set in, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then last year, uh, I just didn't. I think I had one drink. I don't know. I don't think I. I don't think I streamed last year, but I streamed New Year's Day bright and early, hassling everybody who was hungover. So I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. I've had a half a cocktail since we've been doing the stream. It's so lame that I would just sit here and kind of do the same thing tomorrow night on New Year's Eve. It's not either, is it? It's like, what am I gonna do? I told Mrs. V, I'm like, it'd be super fucking. We had so much fun this past week in Maryland, at our future in-laws. Two parties we attended at their house. Uh, be cool to be able to go to some go, ha, you know, celebrate New Year's Eve with not being in some fucking backwoods fucking overcrowded bar and having to drive home and blah blah blah. Not that I would need to get lit, but I'm not doing a single drink and driving. So I might be here tomorrow night, you guys. And chances are pretty good I will be. I'll go live. I know we're probably not going anywhere. Maybe I can talk Mrs. V into doing a New Year's countdown toast with us. She is not a fucking ham like I am, that's for sure. Bill says Senate with eyeballs. I think that's where the eyes are going to be, right, Bill? Like we have I have I've seen the most reserved people saying that we can count on taking the House back. I'm not there's I've kept telling myself, whether you believe it or not, TV, you don't there it saying it doesn't make any fucking difference. Like I'm still, I don't know, shell shocked about the election the last year, but fuck. I have said though, you guys probably heard me say that if we don't win at least the House, I don't know what to say other than change is coming, right? Like we're fucked. I don't know if I should say we deserve everything we get as a nation for sure, and it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't. I mean, can you imagine? Who? I don't know. I'm so fucking like the shit is so bad that it's humbled the fuck out of me, you guys. It has with how precious and fragile shit can be when you got fucking maniacs like fucking Trump, and he's not the only maniac out there. We see fucking chat rooms full of them. Mary, what's up, sister? Cheers to you. Mary says, hope everyone's doing great. I'm going to be quiet today. Don't. That's the last thing we need is for you or anyone else to be quiet. Am I being quiet, Mary? Do you ever see me? You ever see, whenever I'm on here, do you ever see my mouth stop moving? Mary, I don't know if you ever caught my early protest streams, but man, not that I was like super quiet, but it was fucking those streams, 6, 8, 12 hour streams. It's all I kept would think about the whole fucking time is you got to keep talking. You got to keep, you can't just fucking sit here and not say anything. Like it's the worst to watch fucking, and it's rare I watch a streamer where I'm going, all right, dude, slow down. And I could see that I might be one of those kinds of hosts where folks might be like, dial it in a little bit. But it's so bad when the fucking 5 seconds of silence is like an hour. Yeah, I read a little bit about North Carolina's situation. The FEMA response is on Cooper's side, no doubt. Also, the Democrat Attorney General just won a $200 million lawsuit against FEMA. Be a sweet pickup along with Collins in Iowa. Get rid of Ernst and Collins. That would be 3. North Carolina got 20% of usual FEMA money. Even half of that is a bounce check. Nothing to see here. The $200 million was part of FEMA program appropriated by Congress for projects designed to mitigate damage from flooding. North Carolina won a summary judgment before it even went to court. Yeah. Are you kidding? Yeah. Let it out, Mary. I mean, you are more, you are, you don't have to worry about that's for sure. Your posts are always plenty respectful and whatever. Let it out. Especially if it feels better. I've gotten fucking ragey though, where it don't feel good. It's like Jesus fucking. I can get, man. Lately, I can get, and I've done so much better. Like I'll stop. I'll just move on before I fucking am sitting there fucking beating the shit out of my keyboard. I don't. I still can't understand the lack of humility, you guys. I don't know. I've caught shit from fucking folks like Tide about being arrogant. It's like, it's not. And I don't, you guys know I don't fucking complain at all. I love doing this. I don't know that anybody's ever heard me say, this is fucking hard work. It's not hard work. It can be busy work. And, like me and Mary just yapping, you can't, as a host, you can't fucking sit there and just be a fucking quiet mealy mouse, right? You have, so if that's why Ty thinks I'm arrogant, it's like all good hosts have to be aggressive. And I get the fine line. There's a line between me being too obnoxious and being, a host that's worth engaging with. So I get I get a little bit fucking close to being pretty pissed off sometimes lately when these fuckers are just so smug about like cheering for the complete fucking the obvious disaster that we're dealing with Trump. I've just never understood. I just can't understand that because it's like, who the fuck are we? Why would it hurt them at all? Seriously, like, wouldn't it benefit them to if they maybe they don't? I'm just one person, so I don't, and about as far from perfect as you can get. So I only have one perspective, but I just couldn't live like that. Like some of the best times on chat are when I was able to say, fuck this. I'm apologizing to this person that's a really shitty person because I was shitty, and no matter what they say or do, there's never any reason for me to be like that, right? And I just can't understand how people don't, some of these folks never have any kind of moment like that. Not to apologize to me or anything like that, just be like, man, I missed it, you know? Like for their own good. I don't understand it. Unless they're that defective. It's a true fucking defect that they have. I don't know. Mary says Christie needs to approve every 100,000 for FEMA and paid herself and friends brand new LLC 200 million for ICE ads. So messed up. Yeah, those ICE ads, holy shit. Yeah, she had like a whole production thing set up. Um, one of the times that I was sharing, I think I was doing a multi-window protest like a few months ago or whatever. That they had far right fucking influencers, streamers, whatever they call themselves, up on the fucking roof of the Portland ICE facility filming, like not letting media up there, letting a far right influencer up there film, you know? And there was all kinds of Gnome got busted. I think I shared it on one of the streams, and I can't remember what it was, but she got busted out on one of her ads. It got complete. It was an embarrassing debunk. It's fucking pure propaganda. I mean, she's probably fucking. I'd like to know how many meetings Gnome has had with what's her nuts Tulsi, because Tulsi is close all about the fucking prop. I'm I'm not. It's weird. Like apparently she isn't near as bright as even I thought. A lot of us thought maybe. Not that we were gonna vote for her, but she showed some. She said some nice things, and she has that military service and some toughness of a woman, and but yeah, she was corrupt mind, but being so close to Putin or whatever, she's probably Tulsi's probably good herself with the propaganda. Mary asked, did FEMA cut it or did Texas choose to spend it elsewhere? Another biannual 100 flood. Yep, biannual 100-year flood. FEMA cut it, but you never know. Wasn't there an arc? Yeah, Bill, there was an arc there, but it could only separate the water. It couldn't float on it. So, I don't know. All right. That was my best attempt to fucking be funny and try and get in, follow along with the combo there. Okay, so yeah, anyway, what was I saying? New Year's Eve tomorrow night, New Year's Day, unless I completely fuck shit up tomorrow night, I will be streaming bright and early New Year's Day. And I really wish I had my fucking little bar kitchen set up in the living room so I want to do some fucking breakfast and Bloody Mary streams. I just feel like everybody is fucking ready to yap on Sunday mornings with their coffee and whatever, even though it won't be Sunday morning, it'll be one Thursday morning will be New Year's Day, but and then it's on, right? I mean, it's been on. We have 307 days, 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 35 seconds until the midterm elections. Make sure I better make notes so I can at least, I can just probably, I can probably find both. I want to make sure I start sharing well, you can go to Michigan.gov. You probably go to whatever state you're in.gov and make sure and register to vote. Hopefully, Michigan is awesome as far as that goes. Um, I don't know. Some of these red states, you may not even be able to fucking register online. I have no idea. But, anyways, make sure you're registered and make sure you vote. And make sure you vote in your local elections. You know, it's important to vote in these midterm elections, but I don't know what the percentages are. As far as voter turnout in general elections compared to midterm elections and then local elections, right? Local turnout. So do it all. Do it all. I wish I had started, been this interested and driven and responsible 30 years ago, but it is what it is. I'm going to try and make up for it. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll see you again soon. There's no doubt about it, all right? Be good. Peace and love. TV2 out.